This is Jeopardy! I've been in some 1287 back again, and this time it's time for Game 4 of the second one of Jeopardy 95 for the PC. After 3 games, we're at $14,999 at the conference. 3 games. In which one of those games we have accomplished to break 5 figure amounts. Now, is it going to be possible to break 6 figure amounts in just one game? Or, how well do we know? Well, we're about to find out.
Welcome to Jeopardy! Let's begin our game.
Okay. Yeah, I did a little. Here we go.
Hello, I'm Richard Marston. I make my living as an actuary for an insurance firm, but my real love is art, especially Renaissance sculpture.
Hello, I'm Ruth Goldsmith. I'm a chemist for a pharmaceutical company. I've been interested in science ever since my mother gave me my first science kit for my 10th birthday.
Alright, Daily Doubles in
Now
there.
for the Jeopardy round, in which one daily double
Gliders.
will appear somewhere on the board. Here are the
Animal
categories.
Faces, Wall Potpourri, TV Westerns, Submarines, Presidential Relatives.
Good luck. Contestant number 1 will start with you.
Animal Faces for 1.
The answer is
It's worth 2 in the bush.
contestant number 1.
Oh, it's worth 2 in the bush? Oh, dominating I forgot. Wrong.
Sorry, that's incorrect.
It's worth 2 in the bush?
Contestant number 3.
A bird in the hand
Yes,
is worth
that's
2 in the
correct.
bush.
Contestant number 3.
Damn. To deal with the matters, reverse order is to put a card before this animal. Put a card before...
Contestant number 3.
Not?
Oh, sorry, that's not right. Contestant number 2.
A
Sorry,
meal?
that's incorrect.
Wrong. It's not a mule. It's a horse.
Contestant number 3.
Without outshyness or stubbornness, one who refuses to talk does this. Like a certain bivalve.
Contestant number 3. Wrong. Contestant
Why is-
number 1.
What's up? Climb up.
You are correct.
One climbs up.
Contestant number 1.
400. Within 2 slumbering canines, it means to leave well enough alone.
Contestant number 2.
Last
Sorry.
sleeping,
That's incorrect.
last sleeping dog sleep. is to let sleeping dogs lie. He was
Contestant
close.
number 1.
Let's finish that up. Thanksgiving leftovers are what you go if you're suddenly quit smoking.
Contestant number
What
1.
is cold turkey?
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number 1.
Less than for one. September 10th, 1955, John Wayne introduced the first episode of this wrestling set in Dodge City, Kansas.
Contestant number 2.
Gunsmoke?
You are correct. Contestant number 2.
Its theme song began rolling, rolling, rolling through the streams, all swollen, Kingston doggies rolling.
Contestant number 2.
Rawhide.
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number 2.
This TV show Western was set on Barkley Ranch in the 1870s.
Contestant number 3.
Not Bonanza, isn't it?
Sorry, incorrect.
Was I
Contestant number
mistaken?
2.
The Big Valley is right.
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number 2.
And that's the only daily double in this round. It's 400. Okay, here's the clue. This sidekick of the Cisco Kid was played by Leo Calio, who was began in the 70s when he began the role.
You are correct.
Pancho.
Contestant number 2.
In the summer of 1972, NBC broadcast reruns of this western under the title of Ponderosa.
Contestant number 1.
What is Bonanza?
You are correct. Contestant number 1.
And yes, we are doing Jeopardy. 95 PC. So far, we're at 14,999, and we just got done with TV westerns. And now I just pulled out with the $500 clue, which is about Bonanza.
Welcome back. Contestant number 1.
So the rest of the categories we got is Writers, World Potpourri, Submarines, and yes, I kept Presidential Relatives. Let's go World Potpourri for one. Barbados has a Trafalgar Square too, but its statue of this hero is older than the one in London.
Who is Nelson?
Contestant number 1.
Where's
You are correct. Contestant
Mouse.
number 1.
200? Stuttgart is this in this country is also named because it used to be the site of stew farm.
That is Germany.
Contestant number 3.
Stuttgart,
No, I'm afraid that is
Gotcha.
not correct.
not Belgium.
Contestant number 1.
Deutschland, Germany.
You are correct.
Germany.
Contestant number 1.
I
Well,
had it between that or Austria.
mhm. 300. These two European countries whose names begin with SW were both neutral during World War I and World War II.
What are Sweden and Switzerland?
Contestant number 2.
Yep,
Yes,
he's got
that's
it.
correct. Contestant number 2.
400. The name of this South American city is Portuguese for River of January.
What is Rio de Janeiro?
Contestant number 1.
Say J-A-N. E-R-I-O.
Yes,
Phew!
that's correct. Contestant number 1.
Finish. Medieval poet Snorri Sturluson wrote the Prose Edda, one of this country's greatest literary works.
Contestant number 2.
Iceland?
You are correct.
Oh.
Contestant number 2.
Did not know that.
Submarines.
Let's take a look at the answer.
Dutchman Cornelius Dribble is credited with the first sub, running it up and down the things of this
What is England?
century.
Oh no, century. Oops. Sorry, I misread it as country.
Contestant number 2.
17th?
Yes.
I was
That's
thinking
correct.
the 17th century.
Contestant number 2.
I had it between that and 8.
After World War I, he allied submarines detection investigation community developed to detect subs.
What is sonar?
Contestant number 3. You are
Yep.
correct. Contestant number 3.
Until this arrived in the 1950s, almost all subs used diesel electric power.
Contestant number 2.
What is nuclear power?
Yes.
Yeah, he's
That's
got with
correct.
nuclear.
Contestant number 2.
Subs usually have two of those optical devices, one for general use and one for the attack.
What are the
Contestant number
periscopes?
1.
Or what are periscopes? P-E-R-I-S.
You are correct. Contestant
Yep.
number 1.
And scopes, I just got that one right down. SCOPES, boom. Air trapping these tanks makes a sub float.
Contestant number
Oxygen?
2. Yes.
Oh, the
That's
ballast
correct.
tank.
Contestant number 2.
Presidential, here we go.
Here is the clue.
Patricia Ann Reagan uses this name professionally.
Contestant number 2.
Patty
Patty.
Davis
Contestant number
Reagan.
2.
Yeah, makes
Princess Julia Calzuni, a granddaughter of this president and Civil War general, died in 1975 at the
Who is
age...
Grant?
Contestant
Grant?
number 1.
Grant. Ulysses Grant. Nope, just Grant.
You are correct. Contestant number
Princess
1.
Grant. Why did Jessamine West babysit this cousin from California who grew up to become president in the 1960s?
Contestant number 1.
Wait, who was Nixon?
That's what I was thinking.
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number 1.
I'm not a crook.
No.
It was the first name of William Henry Harrison's father and grandson.
It's not George.
Contestant number 3. You are
Your
correct.
name? Oh,
Contestant number 3.
His son Elliot wrote about his alleged romance with Missy Lehan in the 1973 book An Untold Story.
Contestant number 3.
Born?
Sorry.
No, it's not
Incorrect.
Hoover.
Contestant number
I
2.
don't know.
Sorry.
It's not
that's
Truman.
incorrect.
don't ask. Speaking of, since I heard Alex's voice, I actually found something from social media about Al.
I was thinking Roosevelt.
Contestant number 3.
Betty or Franklin?
It was Franklin. Poe's foster father disowned him shortly before he expelled him from
What
military.
is West Point?
Contestant number 2.
I
You are
beat
correct.
to the punch.
Contestant number 2.
Tama Generetz was a publisher of this pop artist known for his silk screens.
Contestant number 2.
Warhol?
Yes, that's
Oh,
correct.
what's Warhol?
Contestant number
Course.
2.
Colleen McCullough collaborated on a cookbook based on the cuisine of this, her native country. France?
Contestant number 3. You are correct.
Australia.
Contestant number 3.
This author of the other was a descendant of William Tyson, a colonial governor of North Carolina.
Contestant number 2.
Hemingway?
Yes.
Oh,
That's
Thomas
correct.
Tyrone.
Contestant number 2. The answer there is
This erudite, conservative first Blackford Oaks novel was a 1976 spy thriller, Saving the Queen.
contestant number 3. Sorry.
Wrong.
Contestant number 2.
Buckley Jr.?
You are correct.
Oh, William F. Buckley Jr. Double Jeopardy time.
Now for the double Jeopardy round, with 2 daily doubles somewhere on the board
History,
in these
gems,
categories.
TV trivia. There we go. Science and nature, famous names, and theater.
I thought you said William Buckley Jr.
Good luck.
Buckley.
We'll begin the game with contestant number 3.
History for 2.
The answer there is
This Zanania gave her lover,
Who's
Grigori.
Catherine the Great?
Who is
contestant
who?
number 1.
Catherine the Great.
You are correct.
Catherine
Contestant number
II the Great. And you said something about Alex?
Yeah, I found out about. I'll explain after we're done.
Oh, okay.
Once we're done with Jeopardy, I got a funny story about it later.
Alright. We are back. And
Welcome back.
Yes.
Contestant number 1.
4. One of the 7 ancient wonders of the statue of this Greek god was destroyed by fire by 475 AD in Constantinople.
Contestant number 3. Sorry,
Janice?
incorrect. Anyone else?
No.
Contestant number 1. You are correct.
How?
Contestant number 1.
That was the first thing you said. And
Wow.
then it came up the Greek god in 475. And all what went through that mind was actually Zeus.
Okay then.
This religion movement of the late 1500s led to the British, the British, the birth.
Contestant number
The
3.
British
The birth of
Sorry,
Protest.
that's
No.
incorrect.
Protestantism.
Yeah. The birth?
Oh God.
Contestant number 2.
The.
You are correct.
Reformation.
Contestant number 2.
Okay. And that's the first of the 2 daily double. Oh, he's delayed by 1. And he's gonna wait to 800. To pull away the lead, the Webster-Ashburton Treaty of 1842 settled the boundary dispute between New Brunswick and the state. Maine,
Yes,
ye
that's correct.
pulled away the lead.
Contestant number 2.
Approved August 27, 1789, this French document proclaimed that men are born and remain free.
What is the treaty of
Contestant number
Versailles?
2. You are
The
correct.
Declaration of the Rights of
Contestant
Men
number
in...
2.
Yeah.
I would have
Gems.
been wrong.
These purple gems are associated with Saint Matthias, the apostle who replaced Judas Iscariot. Purple gem?
Between
Jade?
what is amethyst?
Contestant number 1.
AMY. A. Yes.
H
It's
what?
not the T. AMYTH. Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Ah, yeah.
Contestant number 3.
Oh, why is it?
Contestant number 3.
Theater 4. Theater played this Jazz Age author in a one-man show called The Other Side of Paradise. Jazz Age author?
Contestant number 3.
Charlie Bird?
Gerald. Ah, damn it.
Oh, The Great
Yes.
Gatsby.
Contestant number 3.
Of Henry... Oh my god. 4, 5, 7, 6, 7, 8...
Who's Henry VIII?
Contestant number 1.
E-triple-I.
Who's... Henry the 8th?
Yes, that's correct. Contestant
Henry
number
the
1.
7th, but I counted for the 8th.
Huh.
Huh.
And to think that Henry married someone named George. Uh-oh.
That was like... Hold on a second.
Uh-oh, he's got Bradleyitis.
Slight mistake for that one, for that to Cracky, and again, to remind ourselves of the 8 wives, or the 6 wives.
6 wives.
6 wives, 8 wives. I don't know how I got 8 for 6. Sorry, my mind's been... I'm 35 and my mind's going blank. Of the 6 wives of Henry VIII. There we go. 3 of them was named George. As Cracky read it the wrong way. He thought it was George. And I was the only one who had a woman's name. I had in the right gender, but Cracky didn't. But the other thing... But the other thing... But on the other thing... Jay had to compose himself after what just happened, and then after it was just re-lost it. Oh my god. On that night, I could not contain of keeping that composure. I was so gone. That was just hilarious.
Oh yeah. Now, I think I might as well share it anyways. According to Alex's eldest daughter, Nikki,
Yeah.
back in 2014, she was driving through the canyon, and some guy flies up behind her and whips around in front. So, she did the same thing, and when she looked in the rear view mirror, she's like, oh shit, was that her dad, Alex Trebek? Yes, it was, and she's in trouble. Back then.
Whoops.
Well, I guess she was. Well, I guess she was kind of in jeopardy after cutting in front of her dad, Alex.
Whoops. I guess he was in Jeopardy. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
If she didn't work with her dad until he died.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Contestant number 1.
Okay. James for 4. A golden variety of topaz named for its resemblance to this fortified Spanish wine.
Contestant number 3.
No, it's not Cynthia.
Wrong. Contestant number 2. You are correct.
Oh.
Contestant number 2.
Sherry. This blue-green stone has been mined for centuries.
What is turquoise?
Contestant number
Damn.
2.
Alchemy?
Incorrect. Contestant number 3.
Turquoise.
Sorry, that's incorrect. Contestant
There
number
we
1.
go.
T-U-R.
T-U-R.
Q-U-O-I-S.
You are correct. Contestant
E.
number 1.
The precious type of this gem, named for a domestic feline feature, is greenish in color.
What is cat's eye?
Contestant number 3.
Oh, yes,
Yes.
cat's eye.
That's correct. Contestant number 3.
You got there. Chekhov play in which Triplev kills a bird and lays it at Nina's feet.
Contestant number 2.
Three
Sorry,
sisters?
That's
Wrong.
incorrect. Contestant number 3.
And now we got the lead back. It's a seagull.
Yes, that's
I know
correct.
it's a seagull.
Contestant number 3.
Seagull. That 213 choice for an offshot play was inspired by story.
Contestant number 2. You are correct. Contestant number 2.
TV trivia. Alan Walkie Lang, who starred in many 40s Fast and later provided the voice of this TV's horse.
Who's Mr. Ed?
Contestant number 1. You are correct. Contestant number 1.
And I think Ben created a new sport called Seagull.
Seagull. The color of the seagull. Oh God! I'm gonna piss on myself. Whew. I'm so sorry, guys. That has to be. Okay. I have never heard the new color of seagull. I didn't know seagulls play golf. That's a new one. Oh,
Welcome
God,
back.
my side's gonna be hurting.
Contestant number 1.
Finish up gems for 1,000. Make it a daily double, please. No.
Here is the clue.
This gem with his sanguine name is a birthstone for March. Oh.
Contestant number
It's not
2.
sapphire, isn't it? Aquamarine?
Sorry.
Wrong. It's not aquamarine. Gemstone for March? It's not jade. Bloodstone!
Contestant number 1.
Let's try and get rid of theater for 2.
Daily double. No. 1945, this playwright won his first New York Drama Critics Circle Award for the glass Mangery.
Contestant number 2.
Who was,
Yes.
yeah, Tennessee Richards.
Contestant number 2.
Get back on TV trivia. On the final episode of this sitcom, Felix moved out to remarry
Wanna
Gloria.
be my couple?
Contestant number 1.
Thomas Lennon and Matthew Perry were in the
You
read.
are correct. Contestant number 1.
6. Ann Southern was the voice behind the 1928 Porter on this cult sitcom.
Contestant number 2.
My mother, the
Yes,
car.
that's correct. Contestant number 2.
1987, this Oscar won an Emmy for his role of David Edison on Moonlighting.
Contestant number 3.
Bruce Willis?
You are correct.
Oh,
Contestant number 3.
Bruce Willis. As men from Uncle, Napoleon Solo and Ela Kakelin fought against this crime syndicate.
Contestant number 2.
Oh, tell me that's Dragnet.
Sorry. Contestant number 3.
Gosh,
Yes.
never heard of it.
Contestant number 3.
Name of this flower proceeds of the Nile and of the valley.
What is Lily?
Contestant number 3.
Bingo.
That's
She
correct.
beat to the punch.
Contestant number 3.
This March King not only led the Marine Corps band out
With
the
two
army.
sons.
Contestant number 2.
Oh. Yeah,
You
he
are correct.
beat to the punch.
Contestant number 2.
600. In the 1950s, he was Secretary of State, and his brother Alan directed the CIA.
Contestant number 1.
I know it's Ginsburg. Oh man. Alan Greens.
Hurry!
No. It's not Greenspan.
Contestant number 2.
Green.
Oh, sorry. That's not right.
Oh, what's it, Alan? It's not
Contestant number
Ginsburg.
3.
It's Green.
No, I'm
No,
afraid that
it's
is not
Dulles?
correct. Contestant
Huh.
number 2.
Okay, we was all
The
wrong.
answer is
I didn't have a clue.
When the name of Israel's first prime minister in 1948, he was chairman of the World Zionist Organization?
contestant number 2. Wrong.
Wrong.
Contestant number 3. Wrong.
I'm not touching it. That's what she said. Don't know. Who was it? David Ben. Oh, okay.
Contestant
Really
number
on.
2.
They know it. A high school dropout, he dropped back and after World War II and later became Cleveland's first black mayor.
Contestant number 2.
Young?
Sorry, incorrect.
Eh.
Anyone else?
You're dropping. It's not Young. Carl Stokes.
Contestant number 2.
Science. Water is lost to the atmosphere through this part of the tree.
Contestant number 1.
Part of the tree? Was the roots?
Oh, sorry. That's not right.
It's not the roots.
Contestant
Oh, it's the
number
branch.
2. Sorry, incorrect. Contestant number 3.
Maybe there's the.
No, I'm afraid
Oh, it's the
that is
leaves.
not correct.
Holy
Contestant
crap, we
number
was
2.
all wrong? This geological science studies the forces within the earth that causes plate activity.
Contestant number 3. No,
Nah,
I'm afraid that is not
platonics.
correct.
Oh, God.
Contestant number 2. Sorry, incorrect.
Geological science studies the force. Don't know it. Tectonics.
Contestant number
that's
2.
right. It's a tectonic plate that causes it. A halophyte. It's a plant that can tolerate a large amount of this substance in the soil.
Contestant number 3.
Acid?
Sorry.
It's not acid. Chemicals? Salt.
Contestant number 2.
Daily double. And there it is. It's gonna go for 1,000. The radiation belts around the earth are named for this man who was born in the heart of the Corn Belt.
Oh, sorry.
Alan.
Contestant number 2.
And we're finishing up. In 1975, she became the first woman to head a major British political party.
Who's that?
Contestant number 2.
Wait a minute. He's got it.
Good job.
But
The final Jeopardy category
it's not enough.
is
Because you know why?
contestant number 1. What would you like to wager?
Oh, wait a minute. Guess what? Look at this. He's got Margaret Thatcher. Margaret. Margaret Thatcher? Oh my god. Hold on, my mouth is all tangled. He's got Margaret Thatcher, but that clue was only for 200. By judging on Ruth, she's not in Final Jeopardy because her score is in the hole. So guess what? And there's no way he cannot catch up. And once the category is monarchs.
1,000.
Whoops, wrong mouse. I need the other mouse. There we go.
The final Jeopardy clue is
1942, she became the first reigning queen to address the U.S. Congress.
contestant number 2. Your final Jeopardy response was yes. Let's see what contestant number 2 wagered.
150. That's not gonna be enough.
Your total? Contestant number 1. Your final Jeopardy response was I'm sorry, that's wrong. Let's see what contestant number 1 wagered.
But it doesn't matter anyways, because we just won the game.
Your total? Contestant number 1, you are now the reigning Jeopardy champion. Congratulations.
Ah, shoot. If we would have bet half, which is 2,000, and still got it wrong or got it right, we would have won the game with 2,000. Our score would have been at 16,999, which that would have lead to
Oh my.
thank you, Eugene Takei. But we did win for 3,000, so we're 1,000 over. Our grand total is $17,999. That is Jeopardy for ya. Holy crap. So... So we just won 17,999. Thanks to Team Being Profit. Have a note. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you on the next video soon.